Contacted by an advertising company that was representing Adidas, the company, and so yeah, they asked me if I wanted to paint the mural for him or design the mural. Yeah. I think for Korean, specifically the Korean community, we have very few heroes that we could look up to, and he's one of them. So yeah, sense of pride, sense of identity, sense of culture, like connecting to our culture, connecting back to Korea. I think a lot of Korean Americans, um, because we're separated from Korea, we always want to find ways to connect back to Korea. And so him being from Korea kind of represents that for us. Also, just for the kids and people aspiring to be anything, just having someone who's had so much success, who's Korean. Um, I think it's important to have like an image of someone who's achieved so much that we can aspire to as well. Yeah, definitely. It's very inspired by Korean culture and history and my identity. Just growing up in LA, really trying to understand who I am and um, you know, finding kind of a almost I think for us, Korean Americans who are born in America or who came when we were very young, I think again we feel a sense of connection to Korea. So I think part of our identity, a big part of our identity is fulfilled by this idea of culture, of Korean culture specifically. So um, yeah, it's a big part of our story and who we are. So, I wanted to express that in the work in the mural as well and in my work, my personal work. Um, I think ultimately everyone's trying to find a place they can call home um that journey, part of that journey is just understanding who we are, where we came from, where our parents came from, their stories, their struggles. And so I think that's meaningful to me, and I think it's meaningful for a lot of people. So that's what I make my work about. Right, yeah, Korean culture is very popular and important and trendy almost. Yeah, it's very interesting because when I was young, I grew up in LA when it's the bit largest Korean population now, but at the time it was just a fledgling little town. Not a lot. It wasn't. I watched it grow up. I watched the town come together basically, and it was very different. There's a lot I was ashamed of before. A lot I would hide about who I am as a Korean American person. So it's interesting now. Like on Halloween, all the kids are wearing like K-pop Demon Hunters. So like their parents were the ones who made fun of me for being Korean, and now the same parents are putting on Korean outfits, basically making their kids Korean. So to me it's a little bit a little bit complex because I think yeah, there's a big sense of pride, and I think it's very important and it's very interesting, but also it's like the same person who made fun of me for being Korean is now making their kids Korean essentially, right? So you know um, something about that's kind of funny and interesting. But yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's cool that I have my own kids and they get to grow up in a different environment, different world. They have a lot of pride in their culture and in being Korean. And um, yeah, it's funny. Even the way they talk about other people embracing the Korean culture. Um, they're like, why they, like I'm Korean, and that's like my culture. Why are all these other people like latching on? There's almost ownership, or they're kind of trying to, this is my culture. This is, what I mean? Like the way they talk about it. So I don't know how to describe it exactly, but they're almost trying to like keep it for themselves. They're like, why is it so? Why does everyone else try to be Korean when I'm Korean, right? So Yeah, it's very interesting, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm grateful for it, and I'm glad my kids get to grow up in that kind of environment, new world. Yeah, so embarrassingly so, yeah, I did not know who he was. I'm not a big sports person naturally, so I didn't know. Also, I just live in a world with in art and kids, so I don't like a lot of the world around me is not like apparent to me. But yeah, of course, I learned a lot about him when I designed a mural, and um, the things that really I mean, he's just a phenomenal athlete. I think that's so impressive. He worked so hard, and he made his way, earned his place in not only America but the world. He's renowned as an athlete. I think the fact that he's Korean is very important. Huge fan. My kid plays soccer too, so he became a huge fan himself. Someone. I think when you see someone that looks like you instantly connect, so especially because he's a soccer player and he's Korean. Um, it's. I think that's important. Um, and I think I don't know him personally, but he seems like a very, it's the way he comes off. He seems like a very humble, just a nice guy who's like very willing to engage his fans, and yeah, something about him. He has some kind of a sense of charisma that's interesting. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't, I think yeah, he appeals to a lot of people just because who he is, but definitely a phenomenal soccer player.